If your own mind was betraying you and you didn't even know it? Imagine making decisions you later regret, adopting opinions that aren't really yours, feeling a quiet anxiety that maybe, just maybe, you're not thinking as clearly as you used to. You're not alone. We live in a world that actively rewards mental shortcuts, a world of algorithms, outrage, and overwhelming information designed to make you feel, not think. And it's silently chipping away at our most fundamental human skill, the ability to think critically. But this isn't about blame, it's about awareness. Today we're uncovering the 7 subtle signs you're losing your critical thinking skills. And the final sign is the most dangerous of all. Stay until the end, because what you discover could change the way you see your own mind forever. The first sign is in your reactions. When you read a controversial headline, do you feel that immediate surge of anger? That urge to comment, to share, to react? That's your emotional brain on autopilot. Critical thinking acts as a pause button. It's the space between stimulus and response. But when that space collapses, you become a puppet. Your strings are pulled by clever headlines and emotional triggers. You're not driving the car anymore, you're just slamming on the brakes and the accelerator at the same time. If your first instinct is always to react, not to question, consider that a major red flag. Think about your media diet. How many hours do you spend scrolling, watching, consuming? Now, how much time do you spend creating original thought, writing in a journal, debating a friend respectfully, just sitting and thinking? Neuroscientists like Daniel Levitin warn that our brains are being rewired for consumption, not creation. We're becoming mental couch potatoes. We binge on information, but starve for wisdom. Creation is the gym for your mind. It's where you process, synthesize, and form your own conclusions. No creation, your mental muscles are atrophying, and you might not even feel it happening. Here's a telltale sign. How do you view people who disagree with you? If your answer is instantly, they're stupid, they're evil, or they're brainwashed, you've entered the binary trap. Critical thinking thrives in the gray areas, the complex, uncomfortable space where most truths live. Nuance is dead. Certainty is king. This is the language of algorithms and tribalism. It's easy. It's clean. It makes you feel right. But it's also the language of intellectual death, because the moment you believe your side has a monopoly on truth, you've stopped thinking. You've just chosen a team. And that brings us to the most seductive sign of all. Be brutally honest. When was the last time you willingly sought out a perspective that challenged your core beliefs? Not to mock it, but to truly understand it. Your social media feed, your news sources, your friends, are they a window to the world or a mirror of your own preconceptions? We curate our lives into comfortable echo chambers where our beliefs are constantly validated, never tested. This is social proof on steroids. It feels like belonging, but it's actually intellectual imprisonment. You're living in a mental cage where everyone agrees the door is locked from the outside when the real lock is on the inside. And this next sign is the silent warden of that cage. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect in action. It's the ability to hold a fiercely strong opinion on a subject you've only ever understood through memes, headlines, and secondhand commentary. You haven't read the book, but you'll review the movie. You haven't seen the data, but you'll debate the conclusion. Critical thinking is built on a foundation of intellectual humility, knowing what you don't know. But in a world that confuses confidence with competence, not having an opinion feels like weakness. So we fake it. We perform certainty. And in doing so, we reveal our deepest ignorance. But performance requires an audience, which leads to the next sign. Watch yourself in your next debate. Is your goal to understand or to win? Are you listening to the other person or just waiting for your turn to talk? When your ego gets tied to your opinions, you will defend them to the death, even against overwhelming evidence. You'll goalpost shift, you'll use whataboutism, You'll attack the person instead of the idea. You're no longer seeking truth. You're seeking validation. You're protecting your identity. And in that moment, you have completely surrendered your critical thinking. You've become a soldier in your own mind's war against itself. But all of these signs point to one core, devastating truth. This is the master sign, the one that enables all the others. It's that quiet, nagging feeling in the back of your mind, the cognitive dissonance when you see a flaw in your own argument, the gut feeling that something you're being told doesn't quite add up, the anxiety that you're drifting mentally. That feeling is your critical thinking screaming to be used. It's your innate human desire for truth and clarity. And the ultimate sign you're losing this skill is that you actively ignore that feeling. You scroll past it. You dismiss it as confusion. You numb it with more content, more noise, more outrage. You choose comfort over clarity. That quiet voice is the last line of defense. And when you learn to silence it, you become perfectly manageable, perfectly predictable, perfectly passive. So where does this leave us? Recognizing these signs isn't about self-judgment. It's about awakening. That feeling of discomfort right now, that's a good thing. That's the spark. Critical thinking isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most honest one. It's the courage to be wrong, the strength to be uncertain, the discipline to be quiet. It is, in a world addicted to noise, the most revolutionary act there is. You don't have to change everything today. Start with one thing. The next time you feel that urge to instantly react, pause just for 5 seconds. Ask one simple question. Why do I believe this is true? In that tiny space of inquiry, you break the algorithm. You reclaim a piece of your mind. The battle for your mind isn't fought on social media or in the news. It's fought in these microscopic moments of choice, to react or to respond, to consume or to create, to follow or to think. So what will you choose? Share this with someone who's still willing to think. And let me know in the comments which sign resonated the most.